Come on now, bro. All these pound for pound fighters are too scared to fight me. They need 200 million to do it.
I got 200 million for you.
I'm fighting Jake Paul.
Pussy.
Talk about it. You fighting the best fighter in the world. You better be taking it serious. You know, that goes to show, you know, how serious he's taking me and how much.
Crawford has completely changed his stance on Jake Paul's place in boxing. With him now being considered as a possible replacement for Tank, Crawford has made it clear that he would take the fight, if everything aligns. This comes after Crawford had previously stated that he didn't see Jake Paul as worthy of sharing the ring with professional boxers. But it seems the possibility of a massive payday has made him rethink things. At first, Crawford couldn't stand what Jake Paul represented, a YouTuber walking into boxing, making millions, and calling out real fighters who'd been grinding their entire lives. It didn't sit right with him. Crawford even called Jake a circus act, someone turning boxing into entertainment rather than competition. He was one of the loudest voices saying Paul was disrespecting the sport, a game that demands patience, discipline, and years of hard lessons.
Punch with that right hand, like I seen him, you know what I mean, up close in person. Like, dude is big, he's not as slow as people think he is, and he can punch. You know, that's why a lot of people know, like, there was times where, you know, him and Tyson was in the ring.
But now, he's walked that back. His tone has changed, and a bit of respect is starting to show. On Logan Paul's podcast, Crawford actually admitted that he was wrong about Jake, that he said, yes, he's boxing. At first, I was against it. I was like, man, this dude and his brother are just using their YouTube fame to come into boxing and make all this money, while real boxers who've been doing it their whole lives don't make anything close. I thought it was disrespectful to us in the sport. That's a big statement from someone who once thought Jake Paul was bad for boxing.
Because check this out, Tank ain't gonna lose this fight. Hell no. Hell no. Tank ain't losing this fight. Too many holes. Man, Jake don't have enough experience. Yeah, man, this gonna be taking candy from a baby. You know, Jake is missing the rules. See, this is what happened when you don't grow up in the game. When you don't grow up in the game, man, at a young age, this is what happens, you know?
According to Crawford, this change of heart came after he watched Jake Paul train. He saw Jake working like a real professional, not just an influencer, Crawford said. After watching him and seeing how seriously he trains and focuses on the sport, I was like, this dude is getting better. That's not something Crawford says lightly. He's a perfectionist, undefeated, detail-oriented, and ruthless in the ring. So for him to admit that Jake Paul is improving means something has truly changed. He's not calling him elite, but he's acknowledging the effort.
Happened. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. You know, Ryan Garcia's probably going to rant saying, oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting. No, you have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN.
Crawford saw it firsthand when he went to Puerto Rico to watch Jake fight Ryan Borland. Jake scored a clean knockout that night, and Crawford, who was there for a convention, paid close attention. In his last fight against Borland, I was there in Puerto Rico, Crawford said. I was sitting there like, this dude can hit with his right hand. Of course, Borland isn't an elite opponent, but for Jake, it's a step.
Out of like the influencer world would be the most lucrative thing for my career, and I think I was the only one who like actually wanted to do it, and actually wanted to go all the way, and that's why I set the goal for myself early to become a world champion, set the bar extremely high, and to just...
Crawford has now admitted that he realizes Jake isn't trying to skip the line. He's not pretending he's ready for Usyk or Canelo tomorrow. He's fighting opponents that make sense for his level, and improving each time. A lot of people just want Jake Paul to fight Alexander Usyk, Crawford said. But no, you have to work your way up. And when I saw him live, I gained way more respect for him than I already had. That's a major turnaround from someone who used to roll his eyes whenever Jake's name came up. Now, Crawford isn't just acknowledging him, he's open to fighting him. And with Gervonta Davis possibly out of the Jake Paul fight, that door is wide open.
Kidnapping, all sorts of crazy stuff, guys. If this is true, I just talk about just fumbling the bag, one of the biggest financial opportunities of his career, and he's about to ruin it. It's being reported that Jake's team is offering Ryan Garcia as a replacement for a December fight.
When Crawford first heard about the potential fight between Jake and Tank, he called it crazy, and he wasn't wrong. Jake Paul is a cruiserweight, walking around at 200 pounds, while Tank fights at 135. That's a massive gap, but Jake wasn't backing down. In a Netflix interview, when told about Crawford's crazy comment, Jake said, "This fight is crazy. It's two of America's biggest names in boxing, and it's a 50-50 matchup because of his skill and experience. But my size is the equalizer, and that's what makes it exciting. We don't know what's going to happen."
This footage. Look at Tank. Now, if you know what you're looking at, the guy must be around 150 right now, 153, something like that. And you can really tell when he's sideways. When you look at him sideways and see the depth. See, from the front view, you can't really tell. But when he turns sideways, the guy is a wrecking ball. He's literally a baby rhino out.
Classic Jake, confident, calculated, and always selling the fight. Then came the question that stirred the pot even more: would he fight Terence Crawford? Jake didn't hesitate. "I would for sure fight Terence, 100%. Let's run it." That's the fight nobody saw coming. Crawford is 42-0, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters alive, and possibly the most complete boxer of his generation. But he's also getting older, while Jake is young, strong, and big for his weight. From a money and attention standpoint, the matchup makes perfect sense.
I'm not gonna lie, you really got knocked out. Yeah, I really got knocked out. Watch the fight, you idiot. Went 12 rounds. Like, you're weird, bro. Bro didn't even knock me out or even throw punches. That's sad, bro. Just know, bro, I'm coming back. It's gonna be vicious. Like, you guys don't want to see that. You guys are weird trying to troll me over a fight I didn't even care about.
From a legacy standpoint, it's wild, and that's probably why both men are open to it. Jake even revealed that a fight with Canelo was nearly locked in before the Mexican legend backed out and signed a deal with Saudi boxing boss Turki Al-Sheikh. "I think the Canelo fight is still a massive one," Jake said. "We're two of the biggest draws in boxing, and it would be an amazing challenge for me. But right now, I'm focused on Novum."
Right. He's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. But as you can see here, he's working on his versatility. He's now working on fighting orthodox. He's naturally a southpaw. Now he's working on fighting orthodox.
Now that the Tank fight might not happen, who's left? Crawford fits perfectly, a name with respect, credibility, and elite skill. Jake brings the numbers, the marketing, and the mainstream buzz. Together, they draw millions of viewers. That it's fascinating how quickly the dynamics in boxing shift when money and timing align.
Beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
There's a huge size advantage, though.
it is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
A year ago, Crawford wouldn't even say Jake's name in the same sentence as boxing. Today, he's saying, "If everything aligns, I'd take that fight." It's no longer a stretch, it's business. And honestly, it's not hard to see why. Crawford has done it all, undisputed in 2 weight classes, an undefeated record, and pound-for-pound respect. There aren't many fights left that truly excite fans or pay him what he deserves. A fight with Jake Paul would shatter pay-per-view records. At this stage, it's not about proving anything, it's about cashing in on legacy while the moment's hot.
Know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over.
From Jake's perspective, the move is just as strategic. Fighting Crawford gives him legitimacy he could never get from beating another retired MMA fighter. Crawford is the real deal, a proven champion, and if Jake can hold his own or even last the distance, his reputation in boxing would skyrocket.
My only concern is, you know, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights